Holy crap. Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I gotta make some adjustments here. Let's see. Y'all hear me okay? For some reason, I don't sound that strong on my headset. And of course, the air conditioner is running. Oh my God. Did you guys hear the music on that intro video? It showed it was going out. I like that one part where that wolf comes up behind that girl and boop. Took her a little bit before she noticed what he was doing. Oh God, that was a strange girl. So anyway, yeah, those are wolves that I get to go see all the time now. I sponsored one of them and now I get in for free for the next year. So for some reason I hear an echo on my end. Hello chat. I don't know what's causing that. I don't have that set up. Oh well. Over my shoulder here, this is the storm that we're playing with. Yeah, sorry to hear that, cat. I know what that's like. It's been a long time ago, but I know what that's like. So, waiting for Nathan. He's getting over towards Adrian, Texas, and then he's going to head south and try to catch us. Let's get this up on full screen here. Get me out of the way. On the left side is reflectivity. On the right side is wind velocities, and it's looking pretty good right in that area. There has been a brief tornado report. Nathan's clear up here. This thing has been a beast. It was coming straight at him, and then, like I predicted, it would turn southeast. It was looking pretty gnarly there for a while. So here's another view of velocities. This is the analyst. And when you guys might have been watching Nathan earlier, and you know, I was telling him about the hail, how close it was to him, and that I can measure from any place on here. This is the hail that's showing, which right here is a little over 2-inch hail showing in this this area here. Again, Nathan's way up here. But then when I look at severe hail, this gives me the percentage, like when I was telling him over the interstate, you know, how much the hail size was and the percentage. Hey, Jojo. So, like right here, this is 100%, this white area, but this is how I can tell where the hail is, how big it is, and what the possibility of the severe hail is going to be. And you can see it's got a well-defined hook right there in the core that's going to be about impossible to see unless you're south of the storm. But he had to go east because this brown line here, that was the only road that he could have went on down, and he would have had to core punch it. So, so it still seems to be heading mainly southeast, even though their warning box said south. Well, strangely enough, Nathan, they dropped the severe warning on this thing. I don't know why they dropped that severe warning. They had okay, they put up another one. Let me get the text. 60 mile per hour wind gusts, $half size hail, moving southeast at 30 mile per hour. And that's it. Hey, thanks for that dono. I'll check it out here in a bit. Its current path, it's going to be headed right down where you was yesterday at Friona and Bovina. That's where it's headed to. And speed on it, it's still fairly slow, 16 knots. Yeah, that's right where he was yesterday. I got to get another program loaded. God, I got so much to load up just to show you guys. So, this area here is where we was yesterday. Friona and Bovina. And this thing's headed right that direction. Yeah, I greatly appreciate that, JD. It sure helps me a bunch. I don't know why I got this echo in my headset. Makes no sense. Do. Ba-bum, ba-bum. By the way, that Pink Panther, that guy was playing that all on one guitar. All on one guitar. Hey, thanks a lot, John. I'm just taking a look at that. Appreciate that, buddy. Helps to pay the bills. Let's see if I can get this thing rolling here. This is the part of the show that can get a little boring. Just hurry up and wait. Hey, how you doing, Hammer? I was trying to get the stream up earlier, but had some things going on with the grandson and wanted to make sure he was okay. So, back over here on the main. You'll hear me talk a lot of times. I'm telling that I'm in the folding area on velocities. See all this purple in here? That's the folding area from another radar site, colliding with this radar site. The Cannon Air Force Base would have been lovely to have yesterday and today, but it's down again. That's Cannon Air Force Base right there. So I'm having to use Amarillo. So when I'm looking over here, you know, I'm sitting here looking over 8,000, 9,000 feet. So right now it's a little hard to tell what's going on inside of this thing because of all that clutter. And we got more cells popping up. Every time a cell pops up down here near the inflow, it usually hurts a storm because this is rain-cooled air getting sucked into the inflow notch, that's the inflow notch right there. That's where the warm air is going into it, and this is the wraparound that we look for. But what's been happening the last hour or so is every time one of these, blow up and get merged into the storm, it turns into the hook and the rotation actually picks up. But I'm looking so high up, I can't really tell. This area right here, I'm looking 9,484 feet. That's up too high, but that's because the curvature of the Earth and the radar site is 86 miles away from that area right there. That's that folding area. Hail 2.15 right now. And let's see where Nathan's at over here on monitor 6. So if you're a sub of Nathan's, you get to see this glimpse website that shows me exactly where he's at. So he's there at Adrian, and he's already turned south. He's going to try to get down here to Friona or somewhere in this area and catch this thing. So while we're waiting, I got another video to show you guys of those wolf pups. Let's get over here to the main. I just got this video today. They have grown. They're only about a month and a half old. Maybe close to 2 months.
You like that? You too. There's another one over there.
This is the male. And he takes over that chew toy. He's Creosote, which his grandfather just passed away last year. And so they named him after his grandfather. They're now in their own outside enclosure, by the way. So when I get to go over there next, which the plan is this next Saturday, I got rained out last Saturday. So I should be able to get some video of my own. This is off their Facebook page. She ain't giving up, but he's like, this is mine. You ain't getting it. Ain't that cute? One of my favorite passions in life. See, we got a flash flood warning. This storm has been so slow moving. At times almost standing still. So now there's this green polygon here. That's flash flood warning. And it has dumped quite a bit of hail. Right there, that's a 2-inch measured report. There's another 2-inch report. And some in between. Man, I got that Pink Panther song stuck in my head. But yeah, that guy, he was playing that all on one guitar. That wasn't dubbed over or anything. It's a YouTube video. And then naturally, at the beginning, I played the theme song from The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which Junior, my grandson, he was the one that was walking up the path. He's the good. My son that was filming is the bad, and naturally, I'm the ugly. So I decided to use the Good and the Bad and the Ugly great theme song from years ago. Two and a half inch hail. Nathan's over here going south. By the way, if anybody checks out the National Hurricane Center, the 7-day forecast, you're going to see a 10% right off the coast. Don't be alarmed by that. It's not going to do anything like turn into a hurricane or anything. The models are showing it's not even going to be subtropical. It's just a low pressure system that's forming along a stalled out front. that's causing a lot of rain down in, let's see, let's get this up here. GR Earth. You can see all this rain down here in Florida. Oops. That's starting soon. Get rid of that. So this is a stalled out front down there across Florida, and a low pressure surface low is going to be spinning up off of that. And it's going to ride up the coast a little bit. I have no idea where that was coming from. But I killed it. Sorry about that. I don't know. It wasn't showing that loud. But, I don't even know why that's there. I don't even know why that was on that scene. Let's go back to Maine. I'll just pull this down here. Make sure that doesn't play again. OBS, this version I've got, has been doing some really crazy things. So, like I was saying, there's a stalled out front right across there. Put some blue on there. That's stalled out. So, we're going to end up getting a low pressure system firing up about right there. It's going to come up and then curve back in. It's going to cause a lot of havoc on the coast, a lot of problems with swells and rip currents, and a lot of rain. Some areas could get 3 to 5 inches of rain in this area when it goes up there. Yeah, I don't know why that kicked in. It wasn't supposed to. It was muted, actually. I didn't even hear it on my headphones, so thanks for telling me. Before too long, Amarillo, Texas has got to put a warning over here. The way this is coming, they should put one out for this area down here anyway, before too awful long. There's some other storms up here, but they haven't really been doing anything. None of these way up north has turned. They're still kind of moving east. And there is a tornado warning up here east of Colorado Springs in Colorado. There was a bunch of storms that was up in this area late morning, early afternoon, but they didn't do anything, which I didn't expect. The models did show the storms we've got now moving that direction. That's how I knew this storm here was going to turn southeast. And 70 mile per hour wind report. Can't see the satellite anymore. The sun's going down. Again, this is our storm we're playing with. And what was really cool, I get over here to the studio, is this thing just kind of popped up out of nowhere. Nathan was up in Logan, which is northeast of Tucumcari, and he was just sitting there after, I don't know if you guys heard him earlier, but he had been driving up and down the east, northeast New Mexico to check and see where all the data was while he had time. And to the north, there's no data up there at all for AT&T, T-Mobile, or even Verizon. So he set at Logan, and this little storm popped up and was going right at him, and then it just blew up. It was only moving like 5-6 knots for the longest time, almost not moving at all. So over here on the velocity side, it's starting to come out of that folding area, and I am starting to see something looks pretty decent there. Let's get over here on Analyst. Yeah, right there at Wheatland. That's looking pretty gnarly right there. Let's see how that compares. Ooh, that's on the backside. That's weird. But we had one yesterday that was anticyclonic, and which means they're all my primary tools. Anticyclonic, it means it's spinning clockwise, which is pretty rare for the northern hemisphere. But it was struggling because of that. It had secondary rotation on the backside of it that was cyclonic like it should have been, and they were kind of struggling with each other. At one point, it looked like it might drop twins, but it didn't. But that was a pretty cool chase yesterday, even though we didn't get any tornadoes. I don't know if you guys seen his pictures from yesterday. I didn't save them. Looking through his Discord, I don't see him now. Maybe it was in the screenshot section. There was one. This one right here was very, very strange before this picture. It almost looked like a funnel, and part of it was rotating, but it was like slow motion, and then it had two legs sticking down and a whole bunch of fingers behind it. Let's see if he posted that picture. No, I don't see it. This is one picture, I believe, of it earlier yesterday. Yeah, this got cut off because the part I'm talking about was back off to the left of this thing. It was the weirdest cloud structure I've ever seen. And then this is the storm he's playing with now. I'll zoom in on this. That's the storm he's playing with now. Man, that's one heck of a low shelf cloud. Analyst is, I use Analyst more than I do anything else, but it takes all three programs. Oh, it's over in the VIP. Always have a hard time finding stuff in his Discord. Okay, I heard him just say he's headed back towards the storm. There we go, the VIP. Get into the VIP. This was really strange. This is the inflow tail, by the way, also known as the beaver tail. And look all this dust. It looked like it was going to make a haboob. This is actually getting sucked up into the inflow. That's the reason why it was sucking that dust up off the ground. This thing, it looked like the bottom of an elephant's foot at one point, this area right in here. And it looked like it was going to stomp on him when it was up real close to him. Right there. Zoom in a little bit. And you can see there was people saying there was a tornado on the ground. Well, there wasn't. It did try to put out a funnel in that area, but all this dust was getting kicked out, winds going that way, which is the RFD, the rear flank downdraft. That's what was kicking up all that dust yesterday in that image. Copy that. I'm waiting for Amarillo to put out a warning on their side, but they haven't yet. I'm waiting for Amarillo to put out a warning on their side, but they haven't yet. So Nathan's right there. Takua had a damage report. I've been seeing all kinds of report. Brief tornado, 2 rotating wall clouds, 70 mile per hour wind report. Or are you talking about the storm yesterday? There was all kinds of reports yesterday. Yeah. Multiple semi-rollovers? I haven't seen that report. Well, it did go right over the interstate, so that makes sense.
That road you're on is weird.
That's the interstate right there. That's I-40. And it only takes 55 mile per hour crosswind to knock a semi over. And with 70 mile per hour wind report, I can definitely see we're semis. And that's the reason why I started my company, which hasn't got off the ground. Now that Sean's not over the road, he can't help, put my name out there. But the reason why I started Eagle Weather Consulting was for truck drivers, so they could get a hold of me and say, hey, what am I going to run into today? Or what's right out ahead of me? To kind of get them to not get in the situation of multiple semis getting blowed on their sides. That sucks. I never had that happen to me. I was lucky when I drove truck. But back then, I was like partially storm chasing and driving truck, and I always storm chased by the seat of my pants because we didn't have radar or cell phones and stuff like that, so I could tell when bad weather was ahead of me, and I'd pull over. Some of these semi drivers, all they know is foot to the floor, I gotta make money, I gotta make money. Which last year I did help save a driver's life that he definitely would have maybe not got killed, but he definitely most likely would have got injured at least from a derecho. But I never heard from him again. I don't know what happened. So Nathan's not really seeing anything over here on monitor 6. Just all dark. Can't really see any cloud structure at this point. Again, he's over here. Yeah, a little bit of lightning is about it. My glimpse quit working. Update. So he's looking west. So he's right there, and he's looking into this part of the storm, which lightning is about the only thing you're going to see. I'll turn lightning on. Quite a bit of lightning in this. Quite a bit of lightning. He needs to get south. Still got southeast motion, 21 knots.
Alright, copy that.
Oh, goodness. I better not start coughing again. That's the first time I coughed all day. Which the reason why I haven't been streaming is I had a touch of pneumonia. And I wasn't about to get on stream and start coughing the lung up and puking in my lap and stuff like that. I hated it too because I really wanted to stream.
You got a town that the main system is headed towards? You got a town that the main system is headed towards?
Yeah, like I said earlier, right down where you was yesterday at Friona and Bovina. Also, for those that's wondering that have heard about that super typhoon, let's go over here to monitor 6 while he's getting in position. This is a satellite view of that super typhoon. Let's get water vapor up here on it. This little thing right there, that's Guam. That little island right there is Guam. This is Rota. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Okay, so I'll freeze this a minute. This is Guam, and this is Rota. Okay, what this thing did last night, it was headed straight. The eye was headed straight for Guam. Then it started going through an eye wall replacement and went like this right around Guam, so they didn't get hit with the hardest. That was the path overnight. Now she's back up to, last I heard, 140 mile per hour winds, which is with our hurricane strength, that'd be Cat 4. It's projected as it's heading towards Taiwan that it's going to be a Cat 5, 160 mile per hour winds. So this is the path. Now this is in knots, but this 145 knots, that's when she's going to get up there at least 160 mile per hour winds. But this is Taiwan, and it's headed straight for Taiwan. But it looks like it's going to weaken down by the time it gets there, hopefully. They've got enough problems with China. But that was kind of cool how it went right around Guam, which they still got hit pretty hard. But they were on the southern side. They didn't get hit with the eye wall. It was going through that eye wall replacement, which they tend to weaken down, but then they'll get stronger. So it did it right at the right time where they didn't get the worst of it. Now, I haven't heard about Rota, which is the next island to the north, but I'm sure they got damaged because they was on the north side of it. back over here on monitor 6. Now he's starting to look at that leading edge. Still 2-inch hail, 90 severe. That's something else, folks, for anybody that's new on here. When I'm talking to Nathan, I'll say, you know, a percentage severe. Well, there's two different, and let me get over here on main so I can show you. I'll zoom in on this. This tells me the size, which just now jumped up to 2 3/4 inch. The POH, the possibility of hail, is 100%. Once that reaches 100%, I don't even mention that to Nathan. I'll just tell him the POSH, the possibility of severe hail, which is 100% right now. So I'll just tell him the size and then severe, and that's what that means. That's the possibility of severe hail actually hitting the ground. This thing's back up to 2 3/4 inch hail, 100 severe.
I'm starting to see the base again. We're only 35 miles from Bovino.
Yeah, you might probably want to head on to Bovino, which is southwest of Friona.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm 35 miles from Bovino.
Okay, copy that. Maybe even keep going southwest down there to Farwell, where you was yesterday. No. No, Jane. He's up here on the Texas side right now. He's right there.
But we got plenty of time. We can get south and get a good look at the base. I see 3/4 or a quarter of it now.
Copy that. Yeah, so Nathan's right there. And this is Bovina down here. He was over on the New Mexico side, Jane. And then this thing started going southeast.
Storm really isn't doing anything as far as going anywhere. It's staying in that same spot.
Yeah, it says 20 knots movement on it, but yeah, it does seem like it's going a lot slower than that. It's waiting on Nathan to get out ahead of it.
Yeah, that 20 knots is wrong. It is waiting on David.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to judge the actual speed of the storm. What that, you know, what I mentioned there is the track on it says that particular part of the storm is moving at 20 knots. Yeah. Yeah, I watched a little bit of their stuff last night. Watched a little bit of Reed stuff from yesterday too. I crack up every time I watch it. I can't stand to watch him for very long. He starts screaming and hurts my ears. He reminds me of David. Somebody that would get so excited over a dust devil. Well, I got another brief tornado condensed for a few seconds. Multiple vortices has since weakened. Yeah, David on roids, exactly. I like David, you know, I like the teasing. And I always do. David, he's the Colorado WeatherNet. David Baxter. Yeah, I'm watching Nathan's stream over here. on Monitor 6. He's the Colorado Weather Nut. He used to be the Ohio Weather Nut when he lived over here in Columbus, Ohio. That's Scud. That's all Scud right there. That'd be the updraft right there. Keep an eye on this back here. Yeah, if you ever watched the Colorado Weather Nut there on Twitch, you'll see what I mean. He's a character. Good storm chaser, too. I've been with David for years. Nathan a little bit longer than David, but I helped David, and we brought him into Stormview Live. He was just a beginner. Well, sort of. I mean, he had chased some before I met him. So I'll go through some frames here. Still moving southeast. And that's what kills me. A lot of times these warning boxes, like this one up here, said it was moving south. Well, this particular one said it was moving north. And it's like, what? It ain't moving north. It's moving southeast. And there was one earlier that said it was moving south when it was moving southeast. Now this box has got it right. It's moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. So they say. Part of the storm may be moving at 30 miles per hour, but other parts is just almost standing still. This is interesting. This is Scud moving from bottom right to top left. That's getting sucked up into the end flow right there. Yeah, that's all Scud. Look at that building right there, though. All that Scud going up there in the inflow. Oh, don't get me started on politics. I've got some good rants that I'm saving. I'm saving for another time, another show. So, ooh, got a Tor-R. Tornado reported. Moving east, 5 miles per hour, 29 miles north of Clovis. Radar confirmed tornado. Really?
Can you fix the camera, please?
Yeah, that'd be on Nathan's storm. Let's take a look at this. Okay, we're over here on Analyst. Now, I'm still looking high up, right? I'm still...
Like I said, I just thought I saw something, to be honest. It looked like it had a swirly on the ground and a funnel right from the top.
I'm looking at 8,500 feet. So, Where's the debris at? I don't see it. So let's go back. I don't see any debris signature. Possibly here. Compared to SRV, maybe they're at Wheatland. But I don't think so. Yeah, I just analyzed it, and I don't see a debris signature at 8,500 feet. It's the lowest that I can look at. Not seeing any debris signature, so I don't know how it was radar indicated. And that's out of Albuquerque. That's a long ways away, so they're looking higher up than I am. No, that wasn't a storm chaser.
Now trucks and things closer, bro. Not using their home deal. I'm sure they have. I'm sure they got Dow trucks and things closer, bro. I'm sure they're not using their home deal. I'm sure they have radars out there.
Yeah, that's a possibility. They could have some.
A lot of lightning, and I definitely saw a pretty big lorry.
Huh.
And it looked like a swirly underneath it. So
You can see here it says radar confirmed.
I have to. Well, I can't go back because it wasn't on camera.
He said he saw a pretty big lowering. So maybe it did. It wasn't a storm chaser that confirmed it. It was radar indicated, and Albuquerque is way over here to the left. That's further away than Amarillo, and I can't see it on Amarillo. So maybe Nathan's right. They got some Dows out there, Doppler on wheels. Because I don't see no debris signature. Of course, it could be below my radar, which means it's below 8,000 feet. I don't even see a good area rotation or anything in here except for possibly right here. That's possible. Right there at Broadview. Let's see if I get any other reports in that area. I'm not seeing any yet. And I don't see anything as far as reports go. Now up here close to Wheatland, there was a brief tornado report, but not over here where the box is. So Nathan now is right there, so he should be able to get a good look on this. That's Nathan speaking. Looks like a little Pac-Man. I think Todd did that for us. And it looks like the Pac-Man ghost when he's sitting still, and then the munching Pac-Man when he's moving. It's funny. Special place file that we've got, so I don't have to look at 10,000 beacons for other storm chasers. I got some that it's filtered, some of the guys that I know, but I'm not looking at all of them, because if I turn all of it on here, you can see all these green dots. Turn the radar off. Those are all storm chasers. Come on, do something. Oh, is there Twitter pics? Can you put it on my Discord? You just, if you're on my Discord, put it in the general section. That would be fine. Oh, that's okay, Itchy. I know you. I know you didn't mean it. Now, Sharon, on the other hand, oh, Nathan trying to sing? What the hell was that? Yeah, over here on monitor 6. Let's take a look. You know, I have yet, I've seen a lot of storms around these wind farms. I have never seen one get damaged. I have seen one that got shredded, but that was some other country. I don't get too excited about caps if somebody I know. I did feel like he was hollering at us, though.
They updated the tornado warning to it was observed, a confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado, broad view.
No, really. Yeah, Itchy says there's some pics on Twitter of it. My warning text hasn't updated yet.
A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado, broad view.
Oh, hell. Yeah, Itchy says there's some pics on Twitter of it. My warning text hasn't updated yet. Okay, I do have a report here. Tornado report there. I don't know either one of these guys. Tornado on the ground near Grady. So I got a tornado report that says it was near Grady. That would have been to the west of the report. Tornado report that says it was near Grady. That would have been to the which, if you would have been able to stay on 469, that would have took you into Grady. Not seeing anything. I think he's too far away. That would have took you into Grady. Got another report, tornado report here. White cone 2 miles northeast of Grady. Dang it, I love those white cones. Cannon Colton on Twitter. Okay, I'll have to check that out tonight. Yeah, it would have. It would have. And the heck of it is, by the time he got down on 469 to the interstate, he was already starting to get pelted by some 1/2 to 1 inch hail. And that was right over top the 469 down to Grady. So I told him he probably better go east. He agreed. Because right there at the interstate, he was already getting hail. He would have had to core punch that southern tip of it. Let's see if I can go back that far. This is when the storm first started over here on the main. At that time, Nathan was sitting here, and this thing just blew up out of nowhere and was going east. This is the path that it took. And it looked like it was falling apart, then all of a sudden, boom. She blowed up. Was still going east. Nathan started heading south. He's down here now. Or at this point, he was coming into San Juan. And that's where, and this is the part that I was talking about, that was getting hail on down. This is 469 here. Yes, I'm live. I'm not dead yet. So that's what it looked like earlier. And then she kept moving southeast and just grew and grew and grew to what it is now. How you doing, chicken? Yeah, I finally got over the pneumonia that I had, and so I've only coughed once today. So far. I got my toes crossed, my hands are busy. Let's see if they updated this text yet. Particularly dangerous situation. It still says radar confirmed on my end.
Yeah, friend of mine.
Oh, down here it says observed.
Yeah. Definitely has a tornado.
Yeah, that was the first report I told you earlier. Was a brief touchdown. That was near Wheatland, which is north of Grady.
Dropping tornadoes. Okay, let's get down to Peanut. The only way we're getting closer.
So I want to zoom out here, go all the way back to where the storm first started, and I want to play this. Because I got this stream recording right now, so I can analyze this later or tomorrow. Yeah, this is a beautiful storm, and I tell you what, you get Texas Panhandle chases and over around eastern New Mexico, get some beautiful storms. Hey, smartass, how you doing, Timmy? I'm doing good so far. So he's on the move again. Still 2.5 inch hail, 100 severe. Yeah, that's weird. In this text, it says radar confirmed tornado. That is a PDS warning, particularly dangerous situation. But down here at the bottom, it says it's observed with a tornado damage threat considerable. Yeah, I finally got an update on that Tor text. It is a PDS. And it still says at the top that it was radar confirmed, but you scroll all the way down to the bottom, tornado damage threat considerable and tornado observed. So,
warning too just now.
oh, did they? Yeah, that's... I'm running behind for some reason on the warnings.
Which is kind of weird, because usually I'm like 30 seconds behind you, where you report it and I don't see it, and then all of a sudden once you're done it's there, or the other way around tonight.
Yeah, it's pretty odd. I don't have it on none of my programs. They extended it yet. Yeah, it's got some really tight rotation over here. I tell you, this thing is not done yet. Toot.
It's crazy. This one's doing what that one did yesterday. It's just spinning in one area and hasn't moved.
Yeah, Timmy, it's only supposed to get 67 here tomorrow. It better be nice on Saturday. It's saying 77. I wish it wasn't that warm because I'm going to see the Wolves on Saturday. So that means I got to be over there first thing in the morning. They don't open their gates till 10:30. And it's already going to start warming up. Once those walls start getting warm or hot, especially since they're still shedding, they don't want to interact. They just go find a cold spot or a cool spot and hide. Supposed to get down to 50 here tonight. It got up to 82. I got 3-inch hail, 100 severe. Yeah, look at this thing over on the left side. It's the core is actually starting to hook, and if you look on the right side, this area right here, it's really tightened up, and that'd be about right for the hook. I tell you what, I would rather have 70s than 80s. I went to the store, and thank goodness our humidity was only like 32%. Was pretty dry, and we had a good 9-mile-per-hour breeze. So it wasn't too awful bad when I went for coffee this morning. I still don't have that Torborn Extended Desert. Is it still PDS on the new warning?
Yes, it's still PDS.
Yeah, I'm starting to see pretty tight rotation south of Grady. Southeast of Grady. That core is hooking around. So Nathan's down here now.
Man, that radar image looks mean.
Yeah, it does. Right there. I got to get another program loaded up here. So what I want to, I got to choose a different color. It's too black. This is the area I'm concerned with, okay? So let's go look at the reflectivity, and sure enough, right there where it's hooking around. Oh, somebody's got a rope tore on it. So when the velocities match up with reflectivity, that tells me that's actual rotation right there. They still don't have that extended. This thing's actually, the area rotations right there, it's not even in the Torar box. None of my programs has that extended. Still 3-inch hail, 100 severe. That's gnarly. Got to keep Nathan out of that. Etchy, how do you know that it's a rope tour? I mean, you watching somebody else that's got it, or Reed? Do 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 do. Yeah, it looks like might have a wedge coming down, trying to touch down.
What on TWC? What on TWC?
No, Reed's on it. Yeah, it's trying. I got Reed up over here on monitor 6. It's off to the right. He's not pointing the camera at it. According to radar, it's a good possibility it's just southeast of Grady. There's where it did have, it was trying to put down a wedge.
Possibility it's just southeast of Grady.
See what he's trying to take a look at. I think Nathan might be too far away. This thing is so surface based, it's so low to the ground. Well, come on, Reed, put the camera back over on it. Yeah, it's trying right there. Right there. Man, I wish Nathan was closer. It's up in here. Nathan's so far away from it yet. It's not on the ground yet. A lot of that's getting kicked up from the RFD, the RoofLink downdraft. I wish he had better quality cameras. It's probably just a cell phone. He does a lot of his stuff with cell phones. I never did get that extension on the warning. They're going to have to put out a new warning. Albuquerque, possible damaging threat, destructive. I'm not getting any warning updates. What the hell? Let me reload. see, I got to get Amarillo. Nope, reloading didn't help it out. Yeah, a lot of that dust you was seeing kicked up on Reed Stream, that's from the rear flank downdraft. That's the cold air swirling around the area of circulation that's coming down to the ground while the warm air is in the inflow going up.
Check out the warning they just put out. Am I reading that wind gust right?
I can believe it. I can believe it. 90 mile per hour wind gust, a 2-inch hail.
Jeez, that's some wind.
They're also saying it's moving east at 60 mile per hour. I still have a southeast motion. The source of that is public, so there you go. Tornado possible. Thunderstorm damage threat destructive. Yeah, 90 mile per hour wind reported by public, and they're putting that as a severe.
Affirmative area. It's going more southeast than anything.
Yeah, it ain't going east at 60 mile per hour. That's nah. But if there's a tornado, folks, it's going to be right here where this purple circle is. You got the real, let's do blue. Real tight couplet right there. And that's going to be, I'll do this in yellow over here on the left. It's going to be right in there. So, oops, get back over here. Do this in blue. This is the inflow notch right there. This is the wraparound rear flank downdraft. And the tornado would be right where them two come together. Nathan's over here. So he's getting closer. But he's just, this thing is so low to the ground. You got to be right up fairly close to it to see anything. It's just too far away and so low to the ground that Nathan's vantage point, you can't see it yet. Yeah, it probably will eventually. I don't think so right now. I don't think it'll be rain wrapped just yet. It's hard to tell on Reed's because it's just getting so dark with his camera. Yeah, I can't tell anything on his camera. So Nathan's still trying to get to it. I do have a hail report. Or no, wind report. 84 mile per hour. I just got a report, 84 mile per hour measured winds, inflow gusts. That's down here where the inflow is. 84 mile per hour. Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, it was measured with a handheld anemometer. You can't tell until a survey is done of how strong it could be. I mean, just look at the tornado from a couple weeks ago.
Equipment's fine, that's just a bad area.
Up there in Nebraska, that huge monster that crossed the road, and it was so weak it didn't even blow the power lines down. Never even seen any power flashes off of it, and yet it crossed the road as a monster physically. So you just can't tell by look at them. I've seen some strong wind-wise tornadoes, damaging tornadoes that were real small. You know, they wasn't very big, and yet I've seen some monsters like Moore. You know, it was what, almost 2 miles wide, definitely 1.5 miles, I think. That was an EF5, but then you can see monsters that don't even hardly knock a roof off. So you can't go by looking at the size of them at all. Have to wait for NWS to do their damage surveys. I mean, I wish we had a way to be able to say, okay, that's what it is, but right now that's the only way. Yeah, there's probably a joke in there somewhere, but I ain't going there. I knew what you meant. This is textbook, though. This is textbook, guys. Real tight couplet right in there. Right there. Tight couplet there. Big old hook coming around. Right there is where the tornado most likely would be. Right there. Let's take a look. CC. This blue here, that's scattering. That's scattering. That's not a debris field. But that, jeez, Pete. Let's see, 80 mile per hour winds. There, I got a new tornado warning. Got a new TOR on this one. Particularly dangerous situation. Public confirmed tornado. And let's see here. 17 miles north of Clovis, moving southeast at 5 miles per hour.
It's coming right at you, Nate.
Yep, TOR PDS. Pretty damn serious is what I say PDS stands for, but it actually stands for particularly dangerous situation. Oh, Reed's core punching. He's doing his core punching thing. Screw that. That's how you get hurt. He's a professional, but I don't agree with it. Yeah, I know a lot of people, because it makes more sense, right? It's pretty damn serious now. God, that thing's a beast. Not seeing any debris there. Oh, that cord's wrapped all the way around. It's trying to get a donut hole right there. That core wrapped all the way around that thing, trying to get a donut hole in there.
You should be getting close to 108, Nathan. That would be your exit south.
I don't know, man. He's lost some vehicles in the past. You know how many tornado intercept vehicles he's went through over the years? And if you watch notice his windshield. Yeah, donut hole. What that means is that core is wrapped all the way around, and this area right here is what they call a donut hole. which I just about say it's going to be hail wrapped and rain wrapped. And whenever I see all this rain out here and the core, the hail core, is wrapped all the way around, it's going to be impossible to see unless you're real close, dangerously close. New warning coming out, maybe? I don't have it yet. Too much scattering. Plus, you know, I'm sitting there looking at 9,000 feet. I wish that daggone Cannon Air Force Base radar was working. It's been out. It was out yesterday, and it's been out all day today. And that would have been perfect because it's right there. It's right next to this thing. I've been able to see the rotation a lot lower. Oh yeah, he's had maintenance nightmare for years. Now his video of that one up there in Nebraska a couple weeks ago, that was one of them that he lowered down to the ground and was right into that huge tornado as it passed over the road. It was multiple vortices too in that video. Yeah, that was nuts. That was just downright stupid in my book. I mean, I want to see the whole tornado, or you know, use the camera zoom to get in tight, but you're far enough back where it's safe, and then you can zoom out and see more of the tornado. No, not on the front side that I can see. Let me double check, analyst. Just off to your west, I'm seeing about a 71% chance of, let's see here, maybe 1 inch hail. The bigger hail's up to your northwest. Yeah, he still does science. He is a meteorologist, and they do give information back to NWS. He used to work for a news channel. I think it was AccuWeather, I think. Right there. Or maybe over in, yeah, it'd be over in here. No, I got a new scan. I don't think he's dedicated to any news channel anymore. I rarely see him on the Weather Channel, but I have seen him on AccuWeather. Yeah, he's still in the core. Nathan's got the right play. He's out here on the leading edge. He would get a decent view. Let me zoom in here.
Pleasant Hill, he should be able to stop for a minute and then just keep going south and follow it down. Then your exit would be 60, probably probably southeast. Probably get out of there.
If there's a tornado, it's up here. Nathan's down here. With a storm like this, you want to be in that southeast side.
It's right there, though.
I mean, there's a lot of rain out here, right? But this is going to be the clearest spot to possibly see the tornado. I always like being down in the southeast quadrant, most of the time, depending on the storm motion. But with this coming at him and the possible tornado right in there, definitely want to stay out in front, because that's the clearest spot. I won't say a clear spot, but it is the clearest spot to where if there's any chance at all you're going to see it, it's going to be right there, right where he's playing. So it looks like he's going south. I got to double check glimpse. I haven't looked at it. So here's Nathan's path since he left Adrian. And now he's headed south so he can stay out in front.
Greenish flash. All this flashing is lightning. You see a greenish flash, especially localized. That's a tornado. Power lines hitting a transformer.
Anybody else got anything on the ground right now, Barry? Don't need to say who, just say yes or no.
Have no idea. Have no idea. People are core punching, acting like idiots.
Anybody else got anything on the ground right now, Barry? You don't need to say who, just say yes or no.
I tell you what, if there's any visibility of this thing, where you're at is going to be the best view. You're going to be looking up to your northwest right in the clearest area of the storm there is. But if there's any visibility of this thing, where you're at is going to be the best view. You're going to be looking up to your northwest right in the clearest area of the storm there is. Yeah, copy that. 2 1/4 hail, 90 severe. Quite a ways away from you at this point. You're looking pretty good there at Pleasant Hill.
If I feel uncomfortable, I'll turn around.
Yeah, we'll keep him out of the hail. 2 1/4 hail, 90 severe. This thing's been over 3-inch hail already.
Alright, so compared to 77, if you can, tell me where that station would be. Would that be northwest, right?
Yeah, it's northwest of you. Real tight couplet. Cords hooked around, be right up to your northwest.
Would that be northwest, right?
Yeah, measured it out. I say possible tornadoes about 10 miles away from you. Cords hooked around, be right up to your northwest.
Alright, that's closer than I thought, but okay.
Measured it out. I say possible tornadoes about 10 miles away from you.
Alright, that's closer than I thought, but okay.
Yeah, people were up there in the bear's cage. Jesus, what a bunch of idiots. But that probably, it could be the only way you're going to see it, is be up there next to the course, the bear's cage, which I wouldn't trust on this thing. People were up there in the bear's cage. Jesus, what a bunch of idiots. You get up inside that inflow notch, next to where the tornado is. That's the bear's cage. There's people that's got killed in the bear's cage. Possibly something right there. I don't know, it's hard to tell. It's so much rain up in there. Yeah, Bear's Cage is scary. Nathan did that several years ago. Scared the hell out of me. Scared the hell out of him. He didn't realize he was core punching, trying to get to the other side, and he ended up right in the Bear's Cage. It's like, oh crap. Man, look at that shelf. In here, maybe? I don't know. Gotta wait for some lightning flash.
That freaking wind.
He lost his windshield again. It figures. Dumbass.
Particularly dangerous.
Whoops, I'm starting to sound like Walter, the puppet.
That's something that they add to warnings.
It's dangerous. I don't care
It's known as ADS.
what kind of tornado intercept vehicle you're in with armored windshields and stuff. It's too dangerous to be up there in the Bear's Cage. And actually, he's over core punching the hook. That's even more dangerous. What if it dropped twins? It has happened. I almost got hit by a tornado back in the 80s. I was following a funnel cloud and driving due west. This is up in northwest Ohio. I was tracking on the backside of a funnel cloud, and it never come down. But a twin came down out in the wheat field right beside of me. I slammed on the brakes, and up in northwest Ohio, there's a lot of big ditches. I mean, big ditches from back when they drained the swamp. Used to be the Black Swamp up there. And I dove in. I got out of my car and I dove into one of those big ditches because that second tornado, come right down beside of me. It didn't do any damage except for to my underwear.
It's weakening a little bit, but it could ramp back up.
I was in a Pinto station wagon with a big old tunnel ram sticking up out of the hood off of a V8. Yeah, it was a whole lot like Twister. I followed 7 funnel clouds that day from the Indiana state line east of Fort Wayne. Man, look how dark it is where he's at. Oh yeah, brown alert big time. Look at this. Right there. Let me freeze this and zoom in on it. Right there. Can you see it? Whenever you get quick barrage of lightning like you're seeing here, that's a good indication of a very strong storm, and a lot of times there'll be a tornado.
Be cycling and a new circulation form to the east. This is what happens a lot with the storms, is that here's the circulation, and then there's it weakens,
It's
and
been
then you see
a long
a
time
new
since I have seen inflow like this.
It happens a lot, so watch for that.
Trying to think.
If it tightens
Probably
up,
maybe.
play this all back, and you'll be able to see
Man,
this.
it has been a
Yeah, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but there was a measured 84 mile per hour inflow wind.
This couple, that
trying to
right
think.
there,
Probably Nathan.
you may see it.
Yeah, whenever you see
Surprised me it's freaking howling.
those really quick flashes,
There was a measured 84 mile per hour inflow wind.
there's definitely something happening up in there.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. It's
The
freaking
couplet
howling.
is not as tight. I'm not seeing as strong a gate-to-gate shear as I was, but it's still pretty strong. And I got a message from Tatum. Brandon Tatum. I like watching that guy on YouTube. Oh. Yeah, it is, Sharon. Yeah, it looks like that inflow notch is clearing out. Beautiful shelf cloud on this thing. All kind of dangly things on the leading edge of the shelf. This is the area that I'm interested in, right in there. Might be a little hard to see. That I don't think is a funnel. It might be. Oh yeah, there's something happening right in there. I've seen it on the lightning flash. Seeing something just to the left of that telephone pole. I've seen it in a couple lightning flashes. It's right in here.
Something just to the left of that telephone pole. I've seen it in a couple lightning flashes.
This looks like a wall cloud over in here. But I think it's, if it's going to do anything, this is interesting, but that's not rotating. Jump back over here to radar real quick. So Nathan's right there. Nice inflow notch clearing out. If there's going to be a tornado, it's going to be right here, folks. And that's right where he's looking. Yeah, that to the left is Scud, but that was just on the left side of that telephone pole. There was something trying to come down back in there. It went back up, it looks like. It'd be behind the telephone now. This storm isn't as picturesque as, you know, the ones yesterday. But this has definitely got a better chance of him seeing a tornado than yesterday. Oh, let's see. Can unplug that cord. It has touched down. I'm pretty sure of it. It's not a very big debris signature, but it's right here. Not a very big debris signature. It could be hail ingested.
I got short bolts just to my left here. Real short ones.
Not necessarily, you know. Sometimes these storms, depending on the troposphere or tropospherical environment, I should say, I have seen storms get stronger after dark. A lot of times the southerly jet will kick in, and a lot of time it kicks in just not long before dark, and it'll cause a storm to just really blow up. Really energizes and gets the storm spinning. He said he's seeing a lot of intense lightning bolts off to the left. But I think that's, I think he's actually looking in the inflow notch.
Think about getting back to that road and heading south here shortly.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Nathan.
Think about getting back to that road.
Yeah, the jade color, that's a sign of hail.
Yeah, that's a good
As
idea,
the sunlight shines through the hail it filters out all the other colors except for that greenish look.
Both the west and the east side of that storm kind of came together right around you. You're like in the middle of it.
They have extended the severe warning on this to the southeast. It includes Bovina with tornado possible, damage threat considerable for thunderstorm threat. And they say it's moving southeast 25 mile per hour with 2-inch hail and 70 mile per hour wind gusts.
To the southeast, it includes Bovina with tornado possible, damage threat considerable.
I've seen it greener than that. I've seen some really eerie stuff.
Southeast 25 mile per hour with 2-inch hail and 70 mile per hour wind gusts.
It's kind of bowing out. I'm not liking the looks of this as he's moving to get out of harm's way. I don't like to see this backward C shape. I don't like this. I don't like to see that. That's a sign of strong winds pushing it out. But it's still got that inflow notch, that little clear slot right there. Rotation's not as tight up in here where it was. Starting to see tight couplet back over to the west, which over in here. I don't see as tight a couplet as I did up in there. Got some tighter rotation back off to the west side of it, but I don't see anything real good over there just yet. Yeah, I don't like to see one bow out like that.
Now, the couplet wasn't, to me, looking that good, but you can't. All you got to do is look at the inflow and go, that sucker can drop at any second.
I did have a brief debris signature, was fairly light dropout. I'm not going to say that it actually touched down because that could have been ingesting hail. It was right there where the inflow is, or right in that area. So I don't know if that was hail or it actually did a brief touchdown again. Yeah, it was only there for one scan, too. There, I'm getting some updates. Yeah, it's not looking near as good.
Top 5 most eerie moment of my chasing life. It's just so eerie out here.
Wow, look at this, folks. Man, look at that dust blowing towards the storm. That is some strong inflow. Look at that dust right there, folks. That's all going towards the storm, so that's inflow.
Nate, can you explain what's making it so eerie? Tell me what I know.
That is
The fact that it's so dusty, you can't see anything, but you know something's there because of how intense the
Nate, can you explain what's making it so eerie?
When you feel inflow like this, there's something going on.
Looks like the couplet's trying to tighten up again right there. This is that strong inflow winds, folks. This blue here, that's that really strong inflow.
That's a good point. Yeah, you get that strong winds going into that thing. Be somewhere else for sure.
Yeah, this thing's not photogenic like the storms yesterday, but these are the ones that you got to be real leery of.
Oh, very. I beg to differ with that. This is very photogenic, but we can't see it because of the dust.
Well, that's what I kind of meant. That's what I told, my chat too, is because of all the dust and the rain and stuff, it's just, you can't see nothing. There's a better look. He's moving the camera around now. You can see the layers. I've seen better looking pancakes, but look at that dust blowing towards the storm. That is some really strong inflow, and that could be hindering the storm. That dust is going to dry out that inflow, and inflow, you want warm, moist air going into the inflow notch of the storm. It starts sucking all that dust up. There's something back over here. It starts sucking all that dust up. It chokes it. Yeah, there's something over here. What is that to the right of the telephone pole? I see it in a lightning flash.
What is that to the right of the telephone pole? I see it in a lightning flash.
Right in there.
Yeah, there's a lowering right there. Definitely a lowering.
Yep, he said there's a lowering right there.
Ah.
Whoa.
I think it's fingers though.
That's not fingers. Right there. Been doing this for a lot of years, and it's hard to tell looking at, you know, somebody else's stream a lot of times. It's a lot better in person to spot something like that. But Nathan didn't even see that until I mentioned it. I mean, there was some fingers over here, but I'll freeze this real quick. Right there. You guys got to remember, back in my early storm chase years, like I said, you know, we didn't have radar. We didn't have cell phones. We had ham radio handhelds. And you had to learn to spot things and go by your gut. I used to tell Kelly Williamson that all the time. When he started looking at models every hour, I told him, I said, cut that out. Go by your gut. You used to do that. He got some of his best tornadoes just looking at the HRRR model that morning and going by his gut the rest of the day. And he got one of the most beautiful white tornadoes I've ever seen. Yeah, I miss my buddies too. Here's one of the best pictures. That was a good crew right there. This guy up here, I can't remember his name. He was a hurricane specialist. Naturally, Dr. Forbes, Kelly, Mike Nizzle. He was the winter specialist. Carl Parker. I can't remember. That's Sarah Dillingham, clear on the right. She's from Texas. Carl Parker, he was all around and hurricane, all around storm specialist. Taken in the lab.
It's been holding almost everything this whole time.
I started helping Kelly before he got Randy to go with him, which they were all old schoolmates back when he was young. Both of them lived there in Cassville. But I started helping Kelly even before Storm U Live. Got a tornado report 11 miles northwest of Pleasant Hill where you was. Rain wrap tornado. Yeah, I helped him back
And it doesn't surprise me.
when I was with the chaser from GA, chaser from Georgia, David Pugh. Yeah, the first Randy was Randy Hickman, or Randy Hicks, excuse me, Randy Hicks. That didn't work out so well. And that's when he got the Randy that everyone knew so well. So, that's because until towards the end there, the Weather Channel was telling him where to go. And they wasn't always right. That's when his ability to catch tornadoes started going downhill. But he was going by the models every hour and stuff, and I told him to quit that. Go back to what you used to do. I never got to meet Kelly face to face until a lot of years later. I forget what year that was. I was at Indiana ChaserCon. Met him there. And then we did the, they actually, Kelly and Randy picked me up when I lived over in Illinois. And brought me over here to Xenia, Ohio, where there was a big Boy Scout and Cub Scout event. Spent several days in there for that. They would hear me helping Randy all the time, and the kids would watch Kelly and Randy, and they'd hear my voice. And so when they asked Kelly to come, they said, hey, the kids want to know who that is that's helping you with radar. Who's that voice in the background? They actually did start a TV show. They did 2 episodes. They had pretty much filmed the 3rd episode. I was asked to be part of the 3rd episode, but the accident happened. So that 3rd show never aired. It was called Storm Wranglers. And I still got the hat from that show. Sounds like maybe another tornado warning. Not seeing it yet. Yeah, they had 2 episodes that aired. Somewhere I've got them recorded, but I can't find them.
Like, should I? This could be the quicker way. Screw it.
That's starting to tighten up again. Boy, Velocities is really starting to tighten up in there at the bottom edge of the tour box. Nathan's down here right now. And up in here. The hail coming towards you is 2.5 inch, 100 severe.
That wind.
Yeah, right there where you're at, you might get some 1/4 inch hail. There's about a 56% chance. But that 100% chance is not too far away from you. All this white here, that's the 100%. And he's right there. Yeah, it's getting real dark real quick. Well, you got to think, it's 9 o'clock out there. It's time for it to get dark. But like on Reed's stream, what, a half an hour or so ago, you couldn't hardly see. It was so dark. That's because he was up in it with all the dust and the rain and the hail. And looking at the echo tops of this storm, this area right in here, that's about 49,000 feet is the tops. There's 49 and a half. You might as well say about 50,000 foot tops right around where that core is. Right there where the core is. Three and a quarter inch hail, 100 severe coming at you now. I appreciate that. Hey, thanks for the sub. 13 months. Thank you, bud.
I think that wind shift's going to happen way too late. I would think about getting out of there here soon.
Yeah, that 100% 3-inch hail is only about 3 miles away from you.
Yeah, I think we all at the same time realized, get out of there.
Yeah, he got out of there. But man, is that... Of course, it's getting dark. I mean, it's that time of night. But still, look at the difference in lighting between out ahead of the storm and the leading edge of the storm. How it just like throwing a light switch. This out here, that's all rain and hail coming out and hitting the ground. Now you've seen the dust going into the storm. Just imagine if you was on the other side where the RFD or the rear flank downdraft is. It'd be blowing the dust away from it. Visibility goes downhill real quick. Like driving in a Haboob with a tornado in there. But I actually think if it hadn't have been for the dust, I think this storm would have been more productive. I mean, it's dropped tornadoes several times, but I think it would have been more of a long track, definitely more visible if it hadn't have been for all the dust. Really strong winds. This is going away from the radar site, and the radar site is clear up here, and I'm getting delays on it. When the center of it turns yellow, it means I'm getting delays. So these winds here are going that direction, and the green's going towards the radar site, going that direction.
The Hellcore looks like a pink Pac-Man.
I didn't even notice that. You're right. So yeah, this is some really strong winds. I'm looking at 9,400 feet, and I'm seeing almost 80 mile per hour winds right there where that's yellow. Down here where it's blue, that's over, I've seen a 67 mile per hour winds going towards the radar site. And that's at 9,700 feet. I wish I could look lower, but I can't. Where the core is, that's remove the marker. About 82, 83 miles away from the radar site. Looking at it at the core right there.
Yes, Chad, that was a bug inside the car.
Hopefully it's not a horsefly. I hate horseflies. I seen a video of the mouth part of a horsefly up close. Ugh. Now I know why they hurt so much when they bite you. And the real bad thing now, as Nathan's moving away from the storm, he's right there. It's getting so dark that pretty much the storm chase is going to be over with, except for he'll probably get some lightning with it. Any questions? Oh yeah, they hurt. It hurts when they bite the ass end of a horse too when you're sitting on top. I about got thrown off of a horse one time because a horsefly bit it on the butt. I got 3 3/4 inch hail 100 severe now. Almost 4-inch hail in this thing. Which at the beginning, hail and strong winds were the biggest threat with a couple of tornadoes possible. And this is the only storm that has produced a tornado down in that area. There was a couple tornado warnings up in Colorado earlier. Actually, I think there might have been 3. But as far as New Mexico, Panhandle of Texas, this has been the only storm. Yeah, I still got his beacon moving. He's moving east now. My little Pac-Man's pointed east. Chomp, 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 chomp. Actually, he's back moving south. He was moving east, now he's moving south. It hasn't updated yet on his beacon, but it's not too far off. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing with Glimpse that I kind of don't like is he's coming into Farwell, Texaco town now. If you don't have Glimpse page up all the time and it's a long time before you click on it again, click on the tab again, sometimes you got to refresh it. Yeah, I'm looking at both. I was just mentioning Glimpse. Sometimes the beacon will stop working. You hate Glimpse? I actually kind of like it. It's more accurate than tracking him on Google Maps. But Google Maps gives me more information than Glimpse as far as roads and that. I wonder how his stay was there at the Love's truck stop last night. I forgot to ask him. As long as I keep that tab up, it never stops. But like right now, I'm watching his stream, and if I wait a while and then go over to the tab I got Glimpse on, I'll have to refresh it. No, it's only one hook. But it's starting to push out. This whole storm's starting to push out, and the hook is actually going backwards. That's not a good sign. The hook itself is actually getting a backward C shape. That's not a good sign. So I got to zoom all the way in. Nathan's right there at the junction east of Texaco. Because we got a store. I want to try to do this more and more. The behind the scenes. I can't smoke that good stuff. My COPD won't allow me. It helps with the pain, but I just can't do it no more. Haven't done it in years, to tell you the truth. Totally opposite of what I was when I was 17. You're doing it now? It figures. Oh, Lord. No, I as long as my pain stays away and stuff, Timmy, I want to try to do more and more of these behind the scenes during the whole chase. I would have started streaming earlier, but like I said earlier, is I had my grandson to deal with and stuff. So my COPD is really bad, real bad. But I would have started to stream a little bit earlier if I wasn't a little tied up. Yeah, I got my bush. Like, they haven't went woke yet. Oh, did you guys see that Miller did? Oh my God, that woman on the commercial. If it wasn't for women, there wouldn't be beer. Stupid. Man created beer. And men are still brewing beer. And men are the biggest drinkers of beer. But no, Miller had to go woke. And what was crazy is when Bud Light did that queer commercial, I'll call it, their sales went down. They lost over $7 billion of revenue. And Miller's and Coors jumped way up. So what does Miller do? Their income's on the rise. So they could turn around and go woke. And now their sales are going down, just like Adidas, just like Target. Target store, boy, they're getting hammered right now for their weird stuff. And I don't understand it. Why humiliate and turn against your biggest beer drinkers of all times? I mean, I think Budweiser products in general, which there's a bunch of them that Budweiser owns, but you're not going to get the same beacon that I am, Bandit, because I got a special place file just for a handful of chasers. And I can't share it, sorry. But anyway, why turn against your biggest drinking fans and money spenders? Because like I started to say, is I think of Budweiser products, I think of NASCAR, I think of drag racing, and a bunch of other things that guys do. And just going fishing, I think of Budweiser. And actually, Anheuser-Busch started over in Europe.
Field check.
But they got to alienate the people that pays their salaries, and it makes no sense. This world's going to hell. Everything's becoming woke or alphabet soup group or. And I'm losing viewers. I better quit talking about that shit. Anheuser-Busch, the originators, they moved here to the States. really built that company up. The old man died. His daughter got it, and right after she took over for her father, she sold it. So, and unlike what a lot of people say that beer started in Germany or Netherlands or over there, it didn't. The Egyptians during the Pharaoh's reign actually was making beer. I watched a documentary on that a few nights ago. Not saying they invented it, but they were making it, what, 4,000 or 5,000 years ago. And then naturally the Romans did. The Romans would send their soldiers out with a pint of beer. Of course, you know, back in some of those dark ages, in those days, it wasn't safe to drink water in a lot of places. And beer was safer because it's cooked, it gets rid of the germs and everything. Hopefully this weekend. I got rained out this past Saturday. Friday night, it rained all night long. Got several inches of rain here and where the Wolves, which is down in the valley, so they got it even worse. They had to put straw down for the pups because they got rained on. And so far, the weather for Saturday is 77 degrees and sunny. So, definitely plan on going back Saturday morning, me and my son and my grandson. I'll be taking my grandson in with me. It's the one thing that me and him can do together that he likes to do.
That was a nice lightning bolt there.
So, we don't want to. This is the Weather Channel and Wolf Channel. We don't want to be talking about getting stoned. Please. So, let's go back to the radars. What the heck's going on? Oh, I remember the Partridge Family. I was too old for that oldest girl. I don't like talking about getting stoned because I don't do it anymore. I haven't in years.
4,000
oh, wow.
crowd of people on that highway.
Look at the dust here at the bottom blowing past Nathan.
Yeah, only the stupid ass left on that side.
crowd
Everybody else is bailed.
people on that highway.
Yeah, he's getting some good lightning now.
Yeah, only the stupid asses are left on that storm. Everybody else is bailed.
Yeah, the smart ones is bailed. I'm listening to Nathan in the Desert. Yeah, a little bit ago, right down in here, you could really see the dust blowing. It's still got some strong inflow winds into this darn thing. It may produce another tornado. I don't think this thing's done yet. Dangerous to do it after dark, but I think she's going to try it again.
I was seeing that as well. She ain't done.
Look at that, how the core is hooked around. There's the inflow notch. There's the core hook. Now Reed lost his back window. Shit. Oh, that's what he gets. It's not. It may be fun to core punch for some people, but it's very expensive and dangerous. Oh, I don't know if everybody's heard. I'm sure you probably have. It's sad news today. One of the artists I used to listen to when I was young, she was like 20, almost 20 years older than me. Tina Turner passed away. 83 years old. The woman that had $1 million insurance policy on her legs for years. Yeah, very abusive life when she was young and got started with Ike Turner, and they got married. He beat her up and eventually beat her up so bad she had to leave him. And that's when she got better. And
Tim, is that still inflow?
She was the oldest star to hit the top of the charts when she was in her 40s. And she was still singing up until not too long ago. Here's the Tina Turner. She had a hell of a life. Did a lot better after she got rid of Ike. I like the remake she did of Proud Mary, which was a Fogerty song. John Fogerty wrote that, Creedence Clearwater Revival. Oh, really? Bob Seger, too? Well, he's got cancer. Yeah, there's a lot of cancer going around. There was somebody else that I heard of this morning, or yesterday, that had cancer. I haven't heard about Seger. Don't believe it if it's on Facebook. You see something like that on Facebook, research it. Google it. There is. The guitar player for AC/DC supposedly died a year before he actually did. So, news is real. Yeah, not CNN. They get it right about 1% of the time.
Rumors flying around on Twitter that multiple storm chasers got hit by that tornado.
Oh, no kidding. I hope not. Report on Twitter that multiple chasers got hit by that tornado. There was a bunch of beacons up there right where it was. Probably got too close.
Yeah, that road was full. I mean, you couldn't see the road. It was just a spot of beacons.
That's a shame. There is way too many storm chasers out there, and it's been this way for years, that don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing, and they get themselves in jams and get killed. I mean, it's bad enough when people like Tim Samaras gets killed. That man knew what he was doing. But it's stupid to go out there for the thrill, not for science, and get yourself killed for it. Yeah, he lost his windshield too, I guess. He lost his rear period. I think he lost it a long time ago. No windshield is okay. Okay. At first I heard that he had lost his windshield, which that thing's got so many cracks in it, I'm waiting for it to fall in his lap anyway. I enjoyed when I used to chase storms. It's a thrill. It's an adrenaline rush, that's for damn sure. But I never, other than that one time but that was not my fault. I was far enough and I was behind. I was on the west side of that funnel cloud that was going east. So I was safe, I thought, till that one come down in the wheat field beside of me. Yeah, that might be it. Have I ever thought about riding along with Nathan? Actually, yeah. When Nathan came to visit me months back, it kind of come up in a conversation. So maybe someday. I don't know. It's hard for me to travel. I'd have to fly all the way out to him, and it's just so hard for me to travel nowadays. I can't hardly go 6 miles down the road. It's bad enough when I 45-minute drive over to see the wolves. Oh, his side window too. Dumbass. Darn kids. What you gonna do with them? Smack them around maybe. Sometimes I think some of these people need butt whoopings. I'd never say that to Reed, but... And not particularly him, but there's a lot of idiots. I bet you most of the chasers that's out there ain't got a clue what they're doing. Over here to the main screen. Turn the radar off. All these green dots. Let me turn the background off. All them green dots. Them are all storm chasers. Those green dots are all storm chasers. Reed's in that bunch somewhere. Now you know why I got a special place file to where it only shows a few. Any of these green dots that you see here are beacons that I got through a filtered place file. But these blue ones are people that I know, like Nathan and Becca. That's Becca down here at Mudshoe. And the heck of it was, they was all down south in Clovis, which is storm is going, that's Clovis right there. But this thing was way north, right? And you look at the models, and the models wasn't showing anything down around Clovis until this time of night. But there was a whole bunch of chasers down there, and the storms were popping up way up, you know, like southeast Colorado, northeast New Mexico. And right after Nathan turns his beacon on, all of a sudden you seen all them green dots start moving. They all came up to where he was at. You know, Nathan, other than about 3 tornado warnings, no torars in Colorado, you grabbed the only storm that dropped a tornado.
That's right. And that storm that did all of this started right in front of my car when we started the stream today. Remember that, chat? When everybody else was down in Clovis, I was sitting there all by myself, and look what that storm did. All right, I'm done now.
Okay. I actually, it's too late now, but, and I am recording my stream, but I actually showed everybody, I backed it up to where it showed where you was sitting at, and this storm was just a little bit of green on radar, and played it, the whole thing for them. I'm going to cut that out of my recording, and I'll send it to you. Hey, Stormwatch.
Yep. Once again, Daddy knows what's up.
I was just telling them that, you know, everybody was down in Clovis until you turned your beacon on. As soon as you did, man, all them green dots started moving. Yeah, I'll take. I got to cut the music out at the beginning, so I don't get a copyright strike. I'll do that tonight. Edit it and upload it to Twitch and my YouTube for people to watch that missed the beginning. And then I'm going to cut that where I played from this storm, very beginning, all the way to where it is now. I'm going to cut that out separate as a separate video. Oh, did you really Stormwatch? Yeah, I heard there was some up there. I didn't know you was in Torrington. But yeah, Vendetta, I'll after the chase, I'll get it edited. It'll take a couple hours. It don't take that long to upload, but it takes that long for Twitch to look at the movie and make sure there ain't nothing wrong. And then they'll allow me to post it. So it'll be a few hours yet. So I tell you what, folks, I think I'm done for tonight. Nathan, he's driving away. We're not going to chase this storm. It's after dark. It's too dangerous. Nathan's getting too old. He used to do it, but it's just not worth it anymore. So the only thing he might do would be get some lightning. Oh, before I go, let's look at the SPC for tomorrow. Let's get over here to be on monitor 6. And it's just a marginal. Got a real long 2%er. But I think Nathan might be headed up towards the Denver area. I think this marginal will change to a slight at least. He might chase this part of Colorado up here. Let me zoom in on this. This part of Colorado up here. He may try to chase that tomorrow. He's got to be in Rapid City, which is up here by Sunday. His brother's funeral, I guess, is going to be Sunday. So we'll be chasing most likely this area tomorrow, unless he changes his mind and sees something else right in the same area. Earlier today, they had this marginal going all the way from Mexico to Canada. Or no, here it is. It's day 3. Look at that marginal area. It's only a 5% probability, but...
Do you have that clip with the little green dot with my beacon?
I have to cut it out of my recording when I get done streaming.
I'm gonna have some fun with that on Facebook.
Cut it out of my recording when I get done streaming.
Yeah, it actually shows your Pac-Man beacon, you know, where you started at out today, and that storm was just popping on radar, and it shows you moving with the storm all the way. It'll be a really cool clip.
But it actually shows your Pac-Man beacon, you know, where you started at out today in that storm.
Yeah, I ain't gonna allow Timmy to get blocked. He's too much of a smartass. Yeah, Jane, I think this is done. I was just kind of going over where possible tomorrow chase will be in Colorado. Other than that, I'm done. Nathan will probably only try to get some lightning. So we're not going to chase this thing anymore. It's going to be too dangerous. It's not looking all that good now anyway. But so, folks, greatly appreciate you being here. Thank you for all the subs, the direct donations I got earlier, any bits that I might not have seen. Greatly appreciated. It helps me keep this stuff going, all this equipment going.
I don't know why it got dark so quick.
So,
City, Mexico at that point, and it was
I'm listening to Nathan too. So anyway, thank you all for being here. Greatly appreciate it. I hope y'all learned a little something. I hope you enjoyed my stream tonight. Catch me again tomorrow. I plan on streaming again tomorrow, too. So, for you new people, what we always say on this channel, Peace. Papa Top for me, and I'll catch you on that next broadcast. Y'all have a safe night. Have fun. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. If not, drink a Papa Top and drink it. So, good night, all.
That place where your head is going to